Hey, what's up, guys? It's me again, and welcome back to my channel, Mayta. What ifs? Today I am back with a new story. The name of the story is What If Naruto Became a Power Figure in Elemental Nations? And yeah, guys, it is an unscripted story and my own idea. Now, before continuing this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, and follow me on my Mayta What If channel as well. Apollo Chiha channel as well, if you haven't done so already. And yeah, without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Our story begins in Konoha Gakure no Sato on October 12th, a few days after the QB attack, as we go towards the Hokage office, where we see Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage, has entered. Following him was Hiruzen Sarutobi, as both of them had a few wounds which were bandaged up, as Minato sighed. Well, what do you think, Hiruzen-sama? That was great, right? Of course it was. I expect nothing less from you, Minato. You tackled them with quite ease, and was able to satisfy them, and calm them down. But now we have to face the real challenge, the reconstruction. I already sent a letter to the daimyo. He has agreed for the payments, and the labor will be moving in fastly, and soon we will be under construction and on our way back to where we were. That is what I wanted to speak about. The attack. How did that happen? You told me that once things settle down, you will tell me everything. It was a masked person. Everything was going smoothly, and Biwaku-sama and the others, they were all alive and well. That is until he arrived, and using the ninja wires, he killed them first, and then kidnapped one of my kids, taking him as a hostage, and demanded Kushina. Kushina, being a mother who was, well, under a lot of stress and was now a lot of emotion, overwhelmedness, she made the decision before I even could. And that is why the QB attack began. I see. Well, what happened, there's nothing we can do about that. But what we can do is try to find that man and hunt him down and make him pay for what he has done. We will do that, but right now our priority is to make sure that the same attack doesn't happen again. And for us to rebuild. I have added a few more details into the reconstruction maps, which will be vital when the time comes. What sort of details? Defense details. I see. I trust your judgment on that, Minato. Seems like all the reading that you have been doing aside from the shinobi training is paying off. It kind of has become a habit of mine, gathering books of different sort and reading them. Because of that, I have been able to learn quite a lot. That is quite good. I think I might myself get some few books to learn from. Of course, why not? As that is when there was a knock on the door. Sensei, can I come in? It was Kakashi. Come in, Kakashi. What is it? Kushina-sama is awake and, well, so are the kids. The doctor has told me to go and call you. I see. Well, I'll be on my way then, Hiruzen-sama. And so, Minato arrived and instantly went to Kushina. You're okay. I was very sick about you. I'm fine, Minato. I'm just glad that our children are fine as well. But I'm worried. About what? The doctor says that something is not right with Naruto. What? What do you mean by that? If I may, said the doctor who was standing at the door. Yes, of course, doctor. Okage-sama, I would like to say that, your child, Naruto, he was born with weakened chakra coils. Obviously because of Kushina-sama having triplets and him being exposed to more of the QB's chakra, exhausted chakra, it could have been the cause that has hindered the development of his chakra coils and weakened chakra core. I see. Is it life-threatening? No, that is not the case. The case is that he is... The man stopped and looked around. He is the Jinchuriki of the QB soul. I have no doubt in your judgment of the sealing process, but... Sir, with all due respect, it is a threat in its own self, hanging over his head like a sword, dangling on a thin string of rope. As Minato froze, as if someone had ripped the ground right through his feet, underneath his feet. What? You mean to say that I was the one who did this to my son? No, I'm not saying that. It's just, I understand from your behalf that you wanted to protect our home, all of us, and that is why you made the sacrifice. It's just that I had to make sure that you were the first one to know this. I will keep this a secret for you on your behalf. You don't need to worry about anything. Thank you, Doctor. I'll give you some time, Okage-sama. And once more, thank you on behalf of Konoha and all of us for saving us. I understand. Minato was still in deep thought, shocked after hearing the news. As now we see, Kushina looked down. It's all our fault, Minato. No, it's my fault. I was the one who sealed the Biju's soul within him. If I would have known that what would we have done? We could have sealed the soul within Menma and Mayta. What would happen to the chakra? It could have killed Naruto, the overload of it. You're right. There's nothing we could have done. As Minato wiped his tears, well, at least he's alive. He is with us. And that's what it matters, Kushina. He is our son. He's our family. Our legacy. Like the other two, Menma and Mayta. We're gonna make sure that all three of them are raised with equal love, toleration, and protection, especially Naruto. As Kushina nodded, and then smiled, because she knew that if anyone could lift up her spirits, it was Minato. And so, time began to pass by, as now we see Naruto was being taken care of by his parents, being under surveillance 24/7. Even his own siblings began to care for him way too much. Naruto wanted to learn about chakra? Nope, they wouldn't allow him to. All he could do was read books on them, but he could never test them. And due to him reading books and only allowed to read books alone, Naruto found a passion of reading the books that his father has been gathering around on geopolitics, politics, as well as on how to rise a nation and whatnot. And Naruto was able to amass a lot of knowledge and was still gaining some. As Naruto would now read complex books like they were his favorite thing to do. Because while his siblings trained, that was all he could do. While sitting right next to his mother, obviously, because Kushina wouldn't allow him anywhere other or else place to be when busy training. And that is what Naruto at the age of 6 was currently doing while his siblings trained. Come on, Menma, Mayta, pick up the pace. You still have to do 3 more rounds of the same exercise. As both of the kids were panting heavily while drenched in sweat. Hi, said both of them. As Naruto, sitting under the shade of tree, was reading a huge, thick book about politics. As suddenly, with a yellow flash, Minato arrived there. I'm back for lunch. Seems like you're working the kids, Kushina. Of course. They have to be in fit condition because they are soon going to become the next era of Konoichi and Shinobi. Like mini Minato and mini Kushina, said Kushina with a smile, as even Minato laughed at that. Alright kids, at ease. You can relax for a moment. As both of them collapsed to the ground, panting heavily as Kushina gave them a few bottles of water to drink from. Hey Naruto. Oh, Toho-chan, you're back. Welcome back. You didn't notice me, did you? What are you reading over there? Oh, it's about politics, a book I found. You really have been into it, huh? Well, I have been reading geopolitics and about land as well. As Minato smiled. His youngest, who he thought would need a lot of protection, which he still did, was quite a genius mind. He did not know why, but he was proud of him. He was a generational prodigy in his own right. As Minato felt a little bit of guilt each time, because if only Naruto had chakra much more stronger than he was born with, things would have been different. He would have been a great shinobi. But Minato and Kushina, they were happy and fine as how their son was. He was already making them proud, and that is all that mattered to them. Why does Naruto get to nerd out and we have to work hard? I mean, can't we get a break? A day or two? As Naruto got up and smiled. I think you do deserve a break. As Kushina tapped her chin. I don't know. Please, Kachan, can we go visit Ichiraku Ramen? It has been a lot of time, said Mito, the middle child. As Kushina smiled. You know what? I too myself am craving some ramen. How about in the evening once your father gets home from being free? Yeah, in the meantime, how about some high-protein lunch, kids? So get inside. And so, after having a nice lunch, Minato returned back to his duty. With a smile on his face, he settled down on the desk and was about to begin the paperwork as he glanced towards the picture that was present on his table. A picture of his family. And they were celebrating the last year birthday of their kids. Minato and Kushina were standing behind their kids as the three of the kids, the triplets, were surrounding a cake with 3 candles on it. As Minato smiled until there was a knock on the door. "Come in," said Minato, as in came a surprise. It was his sensei, Jiraiya, who has been away for most of the time from the village, that has entered. "Sensei," said Minato, getting up. "What a surprise. I did not know you were visiting." "Thought I'd drop by and say hello. It has been a lot of time since I visited." "When was the last time again?" "Oh, it was after when, the kids were born and a few months old." "You still remember that, huh? How can I forget? That was quite a year." "Yeah, nobody can forget that in Konoha." "Well, let's forget about those bad times and now celebrate the future. I got some few gifts for the kids. I can't be there on the birthday party like I promised, but I thought maybe I should give them to you." "Sensei, these are the summoning scrolls. I want Menman and Mayta to have them. Both of them deserves to be the part of the Toad clan." "I see. Thank you, Sensei. And one more thing, Minato. It's quite hard for me to say this, but we must talk about prophecy now." "Prophecy? The great elder Toad says prophecy, remember? You met him before." "Oh, yes, I do remember that. Something akin to it." "Minato, I know that you don't want your kids to be forced into this, but it is their destiny and you can't take that away from them. One of your child is born with the burden of changing the whole world, changing the map of Elemental Nation as it exists, and we must make sure that the child is trained properly." "But Sensei, I've been thinking about it. I mean, are we even sure that it is a shinobi or a konomichi who would do this?" "Of course, Minato, it is a shinobi world. It has to be either one of them. We can't ignore that fact now, can we?" "You're right, I guess, but still. They're still too young, like 6 years of age barely. I don't think that is the right decision right now. The right time is never. The only right time is when you decide it is, and it is now. Remember that, my student." As Minato sighed, "I completely agree with you, Sensei, but please, you have to... Look, Minato, I am going to be honest with you and completely honest here. I have given you enough time, and the prophecy is already in motion. If we don't do anything about it, things could be disastrous, not only for Konoha, but for the whole world. I'm sorry, look, that it has been placed on the shoulders of one of your kids, but it has to be done. Someone has to do it. If you won't, then I will. That is how the things are. The situation is." "Sensei, are you suggesting that..." "Look, Minato, I'm not saying that I would do it right now, but I would be forced to use force if you don't listen." As Minato's smile vanished as he looked down. "Sensei, I am quite protective of my family. I will talk to my wife and we will discuss it, but that is the extent of the things I could promise." "Alright, kid. It's up to you. Just make sure that you don't force us to do the forceful thing." "What do you mean by that, Sensei?" said Minato as his eyes narrowed. "I've told the prophecy to the council, as well as to Sensei when he was in power. The whole council is aware, it's just that we don't talk about it. Because we are aware that as the time comes, the child of prophecy will fulfill its destiny." "Why would you say that to them? Did you not trust me?" "Look, Minato, I did. And honestly, I'm glad that I did told them, because you are having a hard time making that decision. Look, I know it is quite a difficult choice for a parent to make, because it is his child whose life is on the line to change the whole fate of the world. And I totally get it. And that is why, for that, we are making the decision. We are gonna make sure that they're trained properly and are capable of dealing with each and every sort of threat that is coming their way. And not only that, they have a destiny to change the whole Elemental Nation. Think about it, if they succeed, how glorious it would be for you and Konoha. I don't want any glory. I want my kids to have a normal and happy life. That is the glory I seek, Sensei. I don't want them to become some warriors who risk their lives, sacrifice their everything for what? For others' happiness? Which they don't even know? Enough, Minato, said Jiraiya, getting serious. I'm giving you 4 years' time. By the age of 10, you must begin their training, because if you don't, there has to be some drastic actions that we will take. What? Remove me from the position of the Kage? If that comes to that, then yes, we will. Fine, Sensei. I will think about it. Good. I expect you to, because this is not a child's play anymore, Minato. The fate of the whole world rests upon your kid's shoulder. Remember that. And with that, Jiraiya left. And Minato sighed. Damn it all. All those years. And for this, damn them. And so, Minato then disappeared and appeared back at home. Back at his home, the family was preparing for the dinner which they were going on out, as Minato's frown was visible on his face. Kids, go to your room now. We won't be going out tonight. Okay, said Naruto, as the others also hurled behind him because they realized that their father was pissed. What is wrong, Minato? It's Konoha and Sensei. As Minato explained everything that Jiraiya has explained to him, and she was beyond pissed. What? They think that our children are sacrificial lambs? No, I would not allow any of my kids to go through that. Screw the world. If it is doomed to be destroyed, then so be it. It is the choices of the others that have caused and pushed it so far. Why would our child need to be the savior for them? That is what I think. But Konoha doesn't. Look, Minato, I'm not gonna do anything that they say. My kids deserve a normal and happy life, and that is what they're going to get. Of course they would train, but they would train to protect themselves and their loved ones. At first their goal was to join Konoha's shinobi forces, but no longer that. I'm not even gonna make them shinobis in this village. And I agree with you, Kushina. All those years of me and you putting everything on the line for what? For this? No. I must begin planning. Planning for what? For the right time. And so, as the time progressed, Minato sold his home and moved all the money to a bank in the land of fire instead of letting it stay in the Konoha. And not only that, each and every asset Minato owned was now only thing, and that was sold. He rented a small apartment in which his family moved and was living at the edge of Konoha. Backup packs as every other rations were prepared for them. The only thing that they were waiting was for the inevitable. And as the 4 years mark came to an end, Minato was called to the council chamber, where he was already a step ahead. Masuruzen and the others were standing there as Minato stood. Alright, I already know what this meeting is about. Good, then we are here to hear your answer. Here's my resignation letter, as well as my letter that is signed by me as my last order, that I am no longer a citizen of Konoha alongside my family. As everyone was shocked. Minato, what the hell are you doing? Said Jiraiya. It is approved by Daimyo, said Minato, cutting off Jiraiya as he continued. And if any of the Konoha personnel tries to harm me or my family, there will be dire consequences. Complete cut off from the Daimyo himself. What the hell do you mean by that, Minato? Said Jiraiya. How could you do this to your home? The same home that fed you and made you who you are. No, I should be the one asking you this. How could my home do this to me, for which I bled, which I tried my best to serve and protect? I will not put my child's life on the line. The daimyo owed me a favor and it has been repaid. My family is already on the move and leaving as we speak. This is only a clone that I have sent to make sure that you all are aware of my decision. What? As Jiraiya was even more shocked because Minato thought so much ahead of him. Damn it. As the clone poofed away, Jiraiya said, I should have known. I should have not told him and gave him that much time. But you forced me to do this, Sensei. I thought that the time was now. Minato would have agreed, like you usually did. Never in a million years I would have thought that this would have happened. And well, it did. Now what? Now all we can do is just find them and hunt them down. No, we can't do that. They're not in the borders of Konoha. Minato made a smart move. He might be already far away from the land of fire itself. And that indeed was true. Minato's assets alongside with Kushina's were quite far, and not to add the Uzumakis that were already there. Naruto being alongside with his family was quite scared, as Minato and Kushina wanted to start fresh and wanted something new and a way to earn. As Naruto had an idea, how about we take this mine that is abandoned and failed? But Naruto, that is a failed project. It isn't. What? They have made a miscalculation. As Naruto explained, because of the geo-regional area, the mine was quite deep and the tunneling stopped a few hundred meters above. If they take the risk and if some minerals are found, they would be able to become not only rich but influential and powerful family. Something akin to daimyos themselves. Minato, taking the risk, believing in his son, took the chance, a leap of fate. And that paid off. As after acquiring and getting the name of the mine under his wing, Minato spent it only a few years, and within that, few minerals were found. Gold, silver, and chakra metal, the backbone of the elemental nations. And once it was found, Minato now owned the economy. Each and every villager required it, even the minor villages, and each and every person, from bandits, from swordsmen, all the way to the shinobis and elites required it. And now Minato had it. He was the raw material supplier as well as of the extremely wealthy goods. As Minato witnessed his three children grow up, Naruto at the age of 14 was working alongside him and was able to move forward with the project of their mining groups and turn it into a multi-million Ryu economy. As Naruto even started a village in which miners were now living, which were a part of their, company. And not only that, a lot of others such as protection services came there in the form of swordsmen, shinobis, and much more. And everything was going in their favor now. Each and every villager relied on them heavily. Now Konoha couldn't touch them because they rivaled the influential that was so far beyond and great that even the other Kages and daimyos only wished to achieve it. The only one that could rival them in strength of wealth and influence was the Land of Fire daimyo, the strongest and most powerful daimyo out of all the five. And he was only aware of their physical assets, not the ones that were hidden. As Naruto and Minato, both of the strongest minds of the family, were going to make sure that they remain like that. Kushina as well as her other two kids showed their potential as well as acting as the backbone and security and making sure the assets were protected and guarded well. While back in Konoha, Hiruzen, who was forced to retake the charge, was literally ripping his hair out. They're sitting on top of so much wealth that they could buy out Konoha 10 times if they want. We should not have done that. That child, Minato's third kid that we thought was a waste of space on him and his family, has turned out to be his golden star that turned their luck. Minato had nothing when he left, and within a few years he has more so that he can own the whole elemental nation. He can't. He already does, Sensei, said Jiraiya. I've tried to talk to him, but I can't because even the toads refuse after what I told them and what he has told them. What do you mean? I lied to the toads. I did not tell them the full truth, Sensei, and now they are hateful towards me. I can't do anything. And not only that, Iwa, Kumo, Kiri, as well as Iwa alongside their daimyos are now making a deal with them. The Land of Fire is also doing, but Konoha hasn't been approached. Minato is visibly watching us and not doing anything for us after all what we have done for him and his family. How can he do this to us? Simple. Minato has done this strategically, but he has forgotten one thing. We still have the upper hand here. What upper hand? His son. What? What do you mean by that, Danzo? We can kidnap his youngest, Naruto. He will be our trump card over him, and the one who owns the whole elemental nation will bow down to us now. Are you insane? The Neo Uzushio Gakure is 10 times stronger and much more powerful and larger in number than any village or nation has ever seen. And that is just filled with miners as well as security that are now owned by the Neo Uzushio Gakure. Minato and Kushina's village. Are you insane? Targeting them would be the biggest mistake. And the whole Shinobi alliance that Minato has now under his thumb would be released on us. Are we prepared for that? Said Jiraiya. That is a risk we should be willing to take. No. We have to send a delegation there to make some amends, as well as hopefully some trades, so that we in the future will have leverage over the others, which now currently others have over us. Hiruzen is right, said Koharu and Homura. What? Sorry, Danzo, but Hiruzen is right. We have to do it this way, because if we agitate them, things can turn worse for Konoha. And that is something we don't want right now. And so, they sent a delegation there. Danzo was amongst them, unfortunately, and he had other plans. Once arriving inside the new Uzushiogakure, there was a huge palace that was at least the whole surrounding of Konoha. Once entering inside, they found where Minato was. A huge office. Seated there in expensive clothing was Minato, and alongside him was his rest of the family, as Naruto was working right now with him, as a whole layout of the mines as well as the new Uzushiogakure was laid in front of them. As soon as they heard they were arriving through their secretary, Naruto rolled up the plans and hid them, as he stood behind Minato. What can I do for you, gentlemen? What are you doing here in my humble home? Is humble, right, kid? I am Minato, by the way, Jiraiya-sama, so I expect you to respect me in the same manner as you did. Come on, Minato. Are you seriously saying that to me? Look, we might have had a relation that is akin to a father and son before, but you made it sure that you had other plans. Plans that are in favor of using my son, whether against my wishes or with my wishes, which neither I have agreed to. Minato, look, what happened in the past is a mistake. We have clearly been wrong, and we apologize for that. We want to move forward and make sure that you want our minerals, said Kushina. Like the others, they always come that way begging. The only person who backed us and kept a word to us was the Land of Fire Daimyo, who gave back the land of Uzushiogakure to us, as well as our wealth that he has promised to keep. I am the favor that I pulled. And honestly, it's all thanks to Naruto that we have this empire in the first place. If it wasn't for the books that I have bought, if it wasn't for him taking an interest in them, we would have been in a different situation. Right now, the peace treaty is all that, even though it is seemed forced, it is genuine. Naruto has been making a lot of peace treaties with the others. Heck, even in Rain country is now involved alongside with Orochimaru's country, who wants peace. Are you sure about that? Orochimaru is someone who was rogue to Konoha, I know, sensei. But not to new Uzushiogakure. The old enemies have turned allies. The old allies have turned enemies. That is how things are now in the present for us. What can we do for Konoha? We want an alliance. Sorry, I'm not interested in one. Said Minato bluntly. Are you sure, Minato? That village has raised you and your kids. And spat on my service. Spat on my love for it. Spat on everything I believed in for that village. You forgot to add that, Danzo. This is not over, Minato. Said Danzo. If you try to pull anything, I will make sure that the whole elemental nation, including the land of fires, make you feel pain. And remember, this time around you don't have any leverage. Men die. On both sides, of course they will. But you are in limited numbers and there are armies, seas of armies out there. What would you do? As Danzo, for the first time, felt a lump forming in his throat because what Minato said was correct. In the end, they would be the ones who would die out and be extinct. We are retreating. Said Hiruzen. Sorry for wasting your time, gentlemen. And with that, Hiruzen left. And soon, within a few years, Konoha witnessed the birth of the greatest empire, the most influential figure, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the one whose name was everywhere, the one who brokered deals, peace treaties, as well as rose and made that empire with a single decision and suggestion. And he was credited to. He was not greedy. He, alongside his siblings, were running the empire together as the Uzumaki family. And the parents of them were proud. So much so that they did not know who to thank or who to greet. As now we go towards Naruto, who was seated inside his office as Pain arrived there, wearing the black cloak with red clouds in them. How are you doing today, Nagato-san? I'm doing fine, Naruto. Thank you for asking. How are the projects going on in the Rain Country? People are doing great. A lot of them are, actually. It still amazes me that you and I had the discussion, and we found a different way to solve this mess instead of going to war. Not everything has to solve with war. I have learned and studied each and every war that has happened. No good outcome came for anyone. Only destruction, mess, and more chaos was left, and more lingering hatred. So I must say that you're the bigger man here, Nagato-san, that let his pain and hatred set aside and start anew fresh. And that takes huge guts, which you showed. I'm just here to submit the report, Captain. Everything is going fine. Good to know. I'll see you later then, Captain, said Naruto teasingly as Nagato left. As he arrived, and once he did, Naruto's secretary as well as his guard, the hidden disciple of Minato, has appeared wearing a mask. What do you think, Obito senpai? Whatever you say, Naruto. They have been through enough because of me and Zetsu. If it wasn't for you talking to us, and if it wasn't for Zetsu's rage exposing himself that day, because of your tactics, things would have been different. Yeah, I know, you would have come after me, right? I've been a fool. I don't want you to think of yourself as such. You've changed, and that's what it matters. You've showed that you can, and everyone has, even Orochimaru himself. Yeah, I wouldn't trust that snake too much, but I wouldn't trust myself as well either. And if I can change, maybe he as well can. Who knows? Of course, that is correct. Well, the deal is made, and now we can initiate the project's unification of elemental nations under one banner alone, and making sure that the weapons are only used in the form of training in case of any unnecessary threat. Otherwise, they're nothing more than fancy tools for display. That is all there is to it. I must say I'm grateful to you, Naruto. No, I'm grateful to everyone who listened to me and understood. I mean, who would? I'm just a kid. Yeah, I guess you're right in a sense. As Naruto settled down, and then remembered that he had a family dinner with his family, where he arrived and was having a blast, seeing his family laugh and smile. This was the life he would want. Being the most powerful and influential figure, that just came as a kicker, because he wanted good for his family. That is what it mattered the most. As this is where I'm going to leave the story of, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, and follow me on my Polo Chia channel as well. I just wanted to make something peaceful because last time I made quite a lot of, saddish Naruto story. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Anyways, this is it for the day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.